Yo, mic check, mic check. How we doing? Ooh, Happy Monday, everybody. We're just beautiful, man. Beautiful. Yeah, we're just easing into the session this morning, and yeah, we're gonna get it cranked up around 10 a.m. Eastern. That's when I'm gonna start popping off here, boys. Let the coffee hit, let the water settle in. You know what I'm saying? Let the market show it's what they want to do. Yeah. How you guys doing? How was your weekend? Ian, butter chicken. How was the weekend? Anyways, boys, happy Monday. Hope you guys had a good weekend, getting recharged. If you're not recharged, be honest with yourself and give yourself the space. How was my weekend? My weekend was good, man. My weekend was good, dude. I hit the driving range, getting some reps in on Friday. On Saturday, had a good barbecue with my good long-term buddy on Saturday night after we hit the range. So it was good, man. It was really good. It was really good. Good recharge. Good people, good company, great food, dude. And yeah, man, here we are. Just happy to have the warmer weather here, boys. Not gonna lie. Not going to lie. Time across the week, man. Exactly. Let's see what the week brings. Yeah, okay. So this was, potential missiles that hit the U.S. warship in the Strait. Confirmed that it was not true, right? So now the data wick is at 403, just somewhere in the middle of this candle here. So not really interested in marking it out, but I see this as a false sell-off right now. I'm leaning higher, boys. But again, if we start to print lower, right, I have no problem adjusting my bias, right? No problem. But for now, you can let the market set up. It's Monday, right? It's NFP Monday, so we'll see how the volume kicks in and moves the market. But for now, again, we're just going to be waiting for some clarity here, man. We are waiting on clarity. We want to make sure that our first trade of the week is an A+ stinger, boys, right? We don't want to be setting ourselves back if we don't have to. Macy, welcome. Adam, welcome. Ozzy, how you doing, brother? Remember, we want to be trading off high quality levels, right? So if you're looking at, this 1 minute fair value gap here, for example, right? Where are we trading this, right? Always make sense of what you're trading, right? We need the market to cycle into key levels, and we look for confirmation out of that level, right? That's the approach. At least the approach I'm teaching here. But yes, if we flip this 1 minute as an example, then we're likely coming for lower liquidity. Could be this low, could be these lows. Who knows, right? This is 1 minute time frames, fairly irrelevant in terms of the bigger picture. So yeah, we're just in chop right now, bro. Like, no need to be forcing anything here. It's Monday, right? But if you see something, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Just know that these candles can open up and look really good, right? And flush. But we are trading off this 4-hour level, guys. I wanted to highlight. So this 4-hour level is rejecting beautifully. So that's another reason I'm heavily bullish, right? Both assets. First presented 4-hour, right? It's actually a daily gap too, right? Look gap on the daily, not visible on NQ, but visible on ES daily gap. Right. Anyways, I got it marked at the 4-hour as the 4-hour, but let's see here. Looking for the market to rally higher. Yeah, so I wouldn't be too put off with this bearish S&T, but again, let's look for a higher time frame level to continue off of. Yeah, how's everybody doing, man? I'm personally great, man. It's Monday. It's a beautiful week here. Lots on the table for this week. Lots to get done. Markets are active, so yeah, man. Pumped. It's gonna be a good week. First full week trading the 5 stack of Lucids. So let's make it count. What do you boys say? Let's make it count. I'm already up about close to $700 on my first Lucid Pro. So I got 1 Lucid Pro as my lead account, and I got 4 Flex accounts. All of my accounts are set to maximum $400 daily loss limit. Maximum $400. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, Ian. If you're living in the past, bro, you're not here right now, right? And that's not going to benefit you, right? We are getting there, boys and girls. Okay, guys, I'll be back in a sec. I'm going to go drop a coffee. Get her pumping. BRB. Alrighty. Boys, coffee inbound. Coffee inbound. Here's a question. Do you guys wait 90 minutes, like an hour to hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before you take coffee in the morning, or are you just like a screw it, slam it, get it in? I usually wait I'd say at least an hour. I was diligent with 90 minutes to 120 minutes, no caffeine for a while, but whatever. Serge, what a beautiful day out, hey? For anybody in the Edmonton area, it is looking beautiful. It is blue skies, and yeah, let me tell you something. I want to be on the golf course. Fortunately, duty calls. Duty calls, my boys. All right, so we are whipsawing. We've taken those equal highs on S&P, right? So next internal point of liquidity, who knows? It's either going to cycle from here or we're coming back down into this region. Thank you, sweetheart. You're sweet. Very sweet. Thank you. Cheers. Come on. First sip feels. Send it to Starbucks. Let's get a sponsorship. First sip feels. Woo! Put it in a commercial. Put it in a commercial. Can you imagine a Starbucks commercial of like some guy trading and he takes his, he's sitting there chilling and takes a sip of coffee and just flips his desk, so fired up. Trade hits TP. That'd be awesome. I'd buy it. We could brand it the Trader's Latte. 800 milligrams of caffeine. So you got like 100 milligram caffeinated coffee and spike it with like 200-300. Or like red eyes, for example. People dropping espresso into their cafe. To answer your question, I actually haven't thought of it until now, but I do actually wait about 90 minutes, but not intentionally. Always water hydrate before coffee though. Yeah, good plan. I was big on like the Huberman podcast, and they were talking a lot about how your cortisol spikes when you wake up in the morning, and if you drink coffee, then you're suppressing the natural reduction of your cortisol back to healthy levels in the morning. So that 90-minute window lets your cortisol come back down to baseline, right? And then you caffeinate. Now, again, I've tried it. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what's the difference. The big difference is if you're drinking coffee other than the electrolytes. You need electrolytes. Oh, mate. Yeah. Okay. Yerba mate? Mate tea or what? Yeah, yerba's great, bro. Yerba mate. Mwah. Mwah. What is this? I'm trying this strong ass. Oh my gosh. Macy, you're a glorified American with your 1 cup, dude. I love it. Fair trade and organic with a skull on it. Smuggled in by pirates, but it's fair trade, boys. It's all good. Dude, that shit looks like it clap your face off pretty good. Nice dark roast. I find the roasts that roast me the most. Say that 5 times fast. I find the roast that I get roasted by the most are like the light roasts, man. The light roast, the fruity light roast. Yeah. Dark roast is great, man. Such full-bodied flavor. Like, let me tell you something. If you don't have hair on your chest, drink a black coffee. You'll sprout a few. Medium to dark, light roast. I feel like Starbucks. I feel like a Starbucks Karen. Yeah, I know, right? To be honest, I haven't been to Starbucks in a minute. But Don, my brother, welcome. How was your weekend? It's been a couple days, my man. It's been a couple days. How you guys liking the stream so far? Are we learning lots? Love it. Good. I just check in to hear the voice. Yeah, buddy. Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. I mean, you got, like, just throw it up on the television, man. Like, we should do a podcast. Drip. Drip, diddy, drip. Yeah, this does look like we're trending higher, right? As expected, cycling off this 4-hour level, right? 4-hour fair value gap, both assets. Beautiful reaction, guys. Look at this. It doesn't get any better. That's insane. Right now, we may expand a little lower on this new 4-hour open in 10 seconds, but this is looking really good for 28K today, or this week at least. Yeah, we're leaning bullish here, buddy. We're leaning bullish. Right, just flip this 1-hour inversion as well. It's 8 o'clock. Beautiful 4-hour rejection. For now, Butter, I'm simply waiting on a 15-minute or higher fair value gap to trend in this direction. Wait for the retest into it, confirmation entry out of it. Right, so if you guys are a little bit more aggressive, again, I can help you out with that as well, depending on where you're looking to enter. But Ian took a stab off this 1 minute. There was a 30-second inversion in through this leg here, right? On this leg here. right? Inversed, retested, and now we're sending it. Now, with that being said, we have no 5-minute, no 15, no 30-minute fair value gaps to trade off of here, right? We do have the inverse retest. I'm not the biggest fan of these levels. I'd rather wait for a bullish fair value gap, right? Because this will show disrespect to bearish order flow when we inverse, right? But again, when we get that 15-minute or higher confirmation of momentum through the bullish fair value gap, that gives me just that extra little bit of confluence, right? But again, you got to be comfortable trading lower time frames, and you have to know when to back out, right? Because eventually the 15 is going to start to form something nice, and with that means pullback, right? Sold 2 cons. There you go, Ian, little scalp lord. Let's go. Let's go. That was a decent little move, eh? 40, 50 points. 2 rounders. Let's go. Right, so we'll see if this inverse here, right? We'll see if this confirmation of this inverse can hold up and send price lower. Right, we got the 1 hour inverse as well. So we got a few key levels here that have flipped, right? This big old 15, although the first presented is now being tapped into. I wouldn't say that holds much weight whatsoever. This is just news, right? But yeah, for now, lower time frames are looking trendy. They're looking trendy. We got an inversion here. Let's see what happens. Right, we got an inversion. There's from the entry drill, guys. If you have not paid attention to it, or if you haven't watched it yet, my apologies. Go and watch it. This is a good example, right? If we were looking to sell this, which we're not, but if we were, right, we're looking at this manipulation leg up above the high, right, into our POI. We get an inversion, right, and there's no 2-minute, there's no 3-minute, and there's no 5-minute level for us to interact with to hold price up at this point, right? There's simply, in terms of fair value gaps, right? So we'll see, right? This inversion, this bearish inversion is against higher time frame order flow, so it's not likely going to hold. But oftentimes when you see this, it could be cause for a bit of a pullback, right? So this can help with your management as well and just understanding what the market's doing right now. If we see this flip inverse, it looks like it's going to sell and we immediately reject, right? 1-minute order block, right? That's a good sign. That just gives us more faith that bulls are in control, right? But we want to see these levels being respected. The fair value gap is no joke, right? It is no joke. And especially when they inverse, very reliable signal from the market, right? And this doesn't mean we need to pull back all the way down, right? But we might be looking for that next pool of liquidity, right? And it's either the inverse retest, or it's going to be one of these lows, right? Or the OB, 2-minute OB or 1-minute OB here, right? But pay attention to the inverse, right? We flip, and we're kind of in a pullback cycle now, right? It's looking like it. And this could be the pullback, right? This could literally be the pullback. It could print a fresh low, take it, and then go. Sip up, boys. Sip up. It is beautiful. Inverse. Pullback. Next point of liquidity. Right? Could be something in this wick. Right, so kind of the key zone here, right? Look at this. We took this little point of liquidity and we're starting to react, right? So this inversion may have been caused to pull back lower, right? But order flow is high. Like order flow is higher, right? Structure is bullish, right? Higher time frame structure is bullish as well. We're coming off this 4-hour. We want the market to move higher. Yeah, to be honest, I'd delete new weeks after I'm done with them. But yeah, anyways. Let's see what happens here, boys. Right, reacting off this 15-minute first presented. Oh, this coffee is glorious. 20 degrees in Toronto today. Let's go. Yeah, we got a bit of a colder day actually. It's only I think a high of 11 or 12. But it's nothing but blue skies, man. So it'll be a nice fresh day. Good day for outdoor work. Right. So hopefully that kind of makes sense to you guys, right? And that's the power of paying attention to first presented levels, right? We're on the lower time frame. We're simply reading structure, right? Right. This was our leg, and the first presented the only fair value gap. Same thing as the example in the entry video, right? Only one minute gap. Only difference is this isn't trading off a good level. Right. The example was a much better level. But yeah, boys, I appreciate you all for showing up. I mean, I know it's Monday. I know you guys got a lot going on, and it makes me happy to see that you guys want to keep tuning in to take some trades and continue to refine your craft and And listen, man, like it's easier to just do it as a team. You know what I mean? If we all just keep showing up, it's like practice, bro. You know, you go practice for soccer alone in a field. It sucks. You know what I'm saying? You go practice with the team. It's great, right? You have fun. Everybody does better. You know what I mean? Community. Right? So it's reaching here. It's reaching. Right? But we can see, guys, this is the open here, right? We opened right here. Since open, like PA is pretty chop, right? This is 1 minute, right? We start zooming out, it's pretty chop, right? And you can see just how when we're in low volume environments, like look at these candles. They just look funky, man. They look funky. They're rather large, and it's just not making sense right now. So if you're trading in these conditions, you have to understand that unpredictable PA could go against you, right? And we don't want to be trading PA that's unpredictable or that appears to be unpredictable, right? And this to me looks like we should be cycling, right? Which we're not. Right? Lower time frame liquidity grab. We're in a bit of a pullback phase here. Bing bong. Yes, sir. Right? And as we start to recognize these types of conditions, right? Especially at the open, right? Like it's very rare that we'll just run flatline at the open, right? Very rare. So when we do, it's typically a sign that either volumes are low, there's heavy manipulation in the market, or there is pending red folder news, right? Some type of indecision, right? Or there's patience in the market waiting for the next catalyst to rally it, right? The market is simply waiting. In this case, we don't have any red folder today, boys, right? The market's rather flat so far. So again, it could simply be a Trump tweet or some type of, you know, US-Iran update that's gonna start to move this up and down a bit, but we'll have to see here. We will have to see. For now, this 1 minute bullish fair value gap is like earning its pay. Like it's earning its wage for sure. Yeah. It's good to see. Right, so make sure you guys got some lo-fi on or some music to keep you focused. And I got this this little handheld foam roller here, right? When I'm waiting for price to materialize, I'll give the quads and the calves a little rollout. You know what I mean? 2 in 1, a little physio, a little physiotherapy. You get those IT bands, inner thighs, right? Take care of your body when you can, right? Something I've struggled with the last few years, and we're getting back to it, right? We're getting back to it. Nothing better than moving good, right? Take care of yourself. Just remember, like 1 minute PA can look really good and expansive, but then again, when we zoom out, yeah, like there's just nothing here for me. There's just nothing here. Full fill retest to the 1 hour inverse. Right? Still no entry. Let's take a peek at that 4 hour closed. It closed bullish, unbelievable. So this candle opened up, pushed down 227.75 points, and then retraced all the way back like 235 points. Beautiful. Anybody got any questions so far off of any of the teachings, any of the course material? I don't even want to call it course material, just like the continuation model that we're trading here. Right? The plan is to showcase the model, teach the model, right? Give you guys obviously the educational material to learn the model to the best of the video's ability. You can only learn so much in a video, right? There's certain things that just have to be experienced live, either in stream or on your own, right? But the focus is to give you the outline of how I'm trading. You trade it alongside me, and then you have a reliable model that you're confident with, that you know what you're doing. Right? From there, we'll introduce another model, right? But we're gonna be trading this model for many months. Right? We're gonna get this shit so ingrained in your guys' mind that you'll have a reliable model to trade and won't have any issues with it. And then we'll crack in to something else. We'll shift the script a little bit. Why are you feeling greedy, brother? Let's talk this out. What about Monday morning made you feel greedy? Do you need money? You think you're greedy because you want money faster, or you want to prove to yourself quicker that you're not a degenerate and you can actually trade consistently? What are we trying to prove to ourselves here? Because I think you're focused on the money, but I think it's deeper than that. Almost always is deeper than that. We're not yeah, exactly, bro. Like, let me tell you something. You're not a degenerate. You're not a bad trader unless you decide to, right? You literally decide that for yourself, right? Just like you decide if you are a good trader, right? But again, let me tell you something. Greed and fear, there is no place for that in this space of work, right? It is not going to get you anywhere closer to where you need to be. It's only gonna provide false illusion, right? Because you can be greedy, take some trades that play out, right? Like you can just catch a buy, like no problem, right? Go and make a few $1,000. Congratulations, you feel on top of the world, and then you can't replicate it, right? You don't have the skills to replicate, and then you get stuck in this loop of like chasing a payout and chasing money. If I can only do this again, blah blah blah, right? And you prolong your growth, man. That's why some guys are are unprofitable 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years in, man. Like, there's so many young people out there. Oh my gosh, I'm a year in, I'm not profitable. It's like, no fucking shit, you're not profitable. You know what I'm saying? You're a year in, man. It took me over 4 years, bro, just to see anything, right? Most guys, because we fail to learn the lessons, man. We either lack consistency, we fail to learn the lessons that the universe is trying to teach us, and we just repeat negative habits over and over and over because we think we know, right? Because our ego completely runs our lives, right? And when you think you know, let me tell you something, you don't. Especially in this industry, man. The only thing you got to focus on is just trading one single model over and over and over. That's it. And being open to when you make mistakes, because just laugh it off, right? You oversize by accident, or you clip a position, right? By accident, you wanted to partial the whole, half the trade, you partial the whole trade. It's easy to sit there and say, fuck, you know what I mean? But nah, man, laugh it off. It's all good. It's all good, man. But yeah, you gotta control greed and fear, man. And maybe not control it, but understand it. Because nobody greedy is making money because they're chasing it. And let me tell you something, chasing money doesn't make you money. Right? You gotta be the collector. Like I said about that church analogy on Friday, right? Like you are the church and it's collection time, and you walk around with your basket out and you take what you can get, right? You take what the market gives to you, right? You take what the church gives to you. You don't choose what you get, right? That's out of your control, but you're open to receiving, right? That's the difference. Versus me saying, come on guys, give me all your money, like support the cause, It's like, nah, man, you give me $100, like you can't do that, you know what I'm saying? Morning, buddy boy, Ricky Birdie, right? So that's where greed will prevent you from inviting capital into your life, right? And you'll stay broke forever, right? Or you'll do stupid shit to make money, and that's not good. It hurts more than it helps. Ricky, how are we, brother? Morning. I think it's also putting an expectation on the market to pay you rather than an expectation on your performance during the session. Focus on your performance. Dude, performance is everything. Market is a beautiful place, right? Study your losses. There's always a reason you lose, right? That's a topic that I want to get into a little bit more, because I think a lot of us come from a realm of like, oh, probabilities. Yeah, sure, probabilities. But I need you to understand, like most of your L's, there's a reason. And that reason might be something that you want to take forward, in your trading. It might not be, right? Because again, the stricter your system gets, the lower the frequency, the higher the strike rate, right? So you have to find kind of that middle ground, right, for what works for you. But always study your losses. I hate seeing people post, good loss, boys, valid loss. Like tell me why I lost. You know what I'm saying? Tell me exactly why I lost. I can go through every single L I've taken and tell you why I lost. It still fits the plan, but tell me why I lost, right? And that's, for example, how I've been able to refine my entry protocol and my entry drill for the last 2 years, right? Is because it's like, well, why did it lose? The setup's there, the model's perfect, and I started to notice, okay, I'm trading into like lower time frame gaps, right? And now I choose to avoid those, that scenario. I choose to not trade into those gaps. My frequency lowers a little bit, but my strike rate goes up 10x. You know what I'm saying? You can't become profitable if you don't journal. You need to track every move. Yeah, journal. I mean, you can become profitable without journaling. You definitely can. I wouldn't say you can't, but I would not journal. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to know what you're doing. Exactly. Like if you're just cheating yourself if you don't journal, right? And if you're taking way too many trades to journal, then I mean, you know, the lesson's right there, right? But like me, for example, I don't journal evaluation trades. I only journal personal capital and funded capital, right? That's just where I'm at now in my journey, right? But again, you know, my journal is the Discord, right? So you guys get to kind of see what I'm going through and what I'm trading, and you know, we can always all go back on it and improve on it, right? But yes, yeah, if you guys need a journal, let me know, because there's a ton of free shit on Notion. I'm telling you, a ton of it. And if you haven't journaled before, you quickly realize that you know, it's a good amount of work because you're learning. BE on my EU long, boys. I already took one BE short. EU, let's see. That's how you improve your making money consistently now. Yeah, so since I've switched to futures, January was a bit of a rough month, right? I had a full business reset in January from some degeneracy, and since I took the time to rebuild. And yeah, I mean, since I want to say April, like mid-March, man, we've stacked. We haven't taken any payouts, but we've been stacking evals, and we're 6 for 6 on evals past. Right, so the plan was to get stacked and then trade the stack, and yeah, I mean, my one fund is up about $600-700 right now. Yeah, 6 for 6, dude. 25 wins, 5 losses, and 3 of the losses were invalid. Something like that. It was pretty spicy when I was going back through it. Right, so the model is there, right, and I'm at a point where it's pretty doable to execute, you know, 85-90% of the time. Yeah, dude, Notion is so good. Notion is so good. It's such an underrated platform. I started making videos of my trades, daily recaps, because in actual journal I was never good with non-consistent. Yeah, man, you got to do whatever tickles your fancy, right? Like a lot of guys will start YouTube channels and throw it up on there, right? I think that's how Max started doing his thing, right? Got my first big payout this year. Yeah, bro. Right. So again, I mean, like, perfect example, right? Like, you can make money in many different ways, right? Because I think Ricky was down on his funded, and he caught a banger, right? And ended up paying huge. But the money is real. I don't know if it was that trade or was it the Bank of Japan trade. I think there was 2 BOJ trades for you, bro. But that was a steamer. 13R, right? So if you think about taking a 13R trade, right? Like, I mean, full volume, like that's amazing that you got paid, bro, but totally unsustainable, right? For most people, right? If you're the type of trader that can take absolute bangers like that, you know, you got to understand that's tough. That's tough to do, man, right? But that was wild, man. That was wild. Right, but again, like, were you happy with that trade? Like, outside of the fundamentals, like, did you manage it how you normally manage your positions, right? Like, if not, right? I remember the first eval I ever passed back in like 2021, and I had 1 or 2 trades left on the evaluation, and I'm like, man, fuck this. I just put the trade on, big ass TP, closed the screen, and went to the beach. And like 2 hours later, I got an email saying, congratulations, you passed. Yeah, so again, if you can replicate that again, Ricky, let's fucking go, bro, right? But casino trades are no good, even if they pay. Right? Sometimes you get really lucky, right? And sometimes you get paid a lot to learn a lesson, and those are like, you got to tip your cap to the universe, bro. When you get paid to learn a lesson, it's beautiful, right? That's I don't know. That's how the Eastern countries say good karma. I remember that was like, when I passed that eval, again, it was the same deal. I was down like 9%. It was like a 19-hour trade, right? Closed it, let it run, hit 19R in 2 hours. And I remember sitting there, I was like almost embarrassed. You know what I mean? Fuck, like, this good thing happened to me, but it's definitely not how I should be doing it. Okay, back to the markets here, boys. Back to the markets. But dude, that Bank Japan, like that BOJ, the fundamental read was beautiful. Like, fucking crazy. That's unreal. Millionaire moves. Yeah, man, exactly. Millionaire moves, bro. Just like these big Trump wicks throughout this war talk, man. Shish. You know, 300-400 point candles on like a couple minis. My goodness. Go and make $50,000 to $100,000 in 5 minutes. Right on, George, brother. How you doing? How you guys doing? We got a good crowd today. How's everybody's morning? Looks like Ian's taking a couple positions, or at least one. Market is still kind of chop city here. I haven't really been doing my job and looking for levels. It looks like we're starting to get something on ES here, boys. Looks like we're starting to get something on ES. It's catching up. 30-minute print in 27 minutes. We have a 15 here as well. Right out of this low wick cycle up, right? So this could be a nice zone. I'd like to see it expand to a 30. Not gonna lie. So we're gonna just sit patient on this. NQ still nothing. NQ is chop chop. George, how are you, brother? How are things? Everything's good. For some reason, I am favoring sells on NQ. That's fair. Might be burned. Are you in sells here, Rick? Off this 15 area? Trade evade glitched? Hold up. Let me take a look. Huh. You're not in sells, all good. My trade evade looks like it's totally fine, bro. Yeah, no clue, no clue in. Asia high. I don't even know what my Asia high is. Yeah, my Asia high got clipped already. It's just all time in London. What is this? Oh, that's the. Okay, so you see session highs holding price lower. I see. Oh, see, said the blind man. Yeah, we got some lower time frame trend line for sure. We got some relative equals on the 15 here. My only gripe is this was a news sell-off, right? So there's no validity to the push lower, right? This was just emotion in the market, right? So really, we're kind of back to where we started. So now let's see what happens. But this area is, you know, these news-induced moves are usually against trend, right? Like you'll see Trump tweet something bullish and then it'll continue to sell off, right? It's selling, it tweets bullish and then it just continues to sell. Falls back in line with the algorithm, right? Sergi boy, my man, how we doing? Ricky, where are you from, man? Where are you residing these days? Serge is good, let's go. Mozambique? Holy crap, man. What time is it over there? Where is Mozambique? Look that up. Mozambique. Is that Africa, man? Dude, you live in Africa? What the fuck? That's unreal. Yeah, you guys must get a lot of nice looking beaches and jellyfish out there, hey? Looks like a jellyfish kind of place. I love jellyfish. Beautiful. Oh yeah, dude, no doubt. Is it safe for women? I know some of those African places can be a little dangerous for women. Serge, what's the play here, bro? Are we waiting or what's the read? Mozambique. Yeah, dude. To be honest, I've never actually looked at anything in Mozambique, and it looks beautiful. I'll get away with speaking Spanish there, no, Ricky? ASA. That's all you need to know. Hey, cholo. End up with a bullet in your head. All right, guys. So again, I just wanted to touch on the fact that sometimes in trading we get slower sessions, right? And today is starting to show as an example of that. Now, remember, the first half of New York can be very, very slow. And then you lose focus, the markets start to kind of wind down, or the session's winding down, and then all of a sudden, boom, setup. In line with your DOLs, we have to be ready, right? So it can be a little bit tough to continue focus sometimes, but we have to make sure that that we're staying focused. At least what we're aware of, right? And given the fact that we're trading 15, 30, 1 hour levels, it's very difficult to miss a trade. It's very difficult, right? With that being said, we still gotta stay focused. All right, so now we're starting to creep up to this news high. I think it was 601, 602, 603, 604. It was like right in here that the tweet came out, but you can see they priced it in before. Right, so this high is likely going to get crushed. The data wick was actually a little bit lower. I think it was 602, 603. But it looks like they priced it in. Asia high. London high, buddy. London high, all-time high is likely. Like I'm buying. I'm bull bias, right? I want to see the market. These are all draws on liquidity, right? The 28,000, this gray line, all-time highs, red line, old London high, gray line, data wick high, black line. Even though technically the data wick's down here, I'm still just gonna leave it here, right? So we got 4 points of liquidity, right? Now this purple box, I have it set to 15 points below 28K, because typically within 20 points high or low of these massive figures, right? So 28,000 and 27,980, we start to see strong rejection, right? 20 points. So for me, I just throw another 5 points on there, right? And this to me would be just another area to potentially look to take partials or GTF out of the market, right? Are we going there? Sorry, I'm gonna take. No, it's all good, bro. No mistakes here. No mistakes, right? So the idea, right, is I mark out my charts, right? I got my DOLs. Don't pay attention to any of the levels or the fair value gaps, but I mark out my draws and liquidity using my ICT kill zones and pivots indicator. Episode 1 in your WAP. Get your ass on it if you haven't already. They'll show you how to mark it out. Anyways, mark those out. Price is in this region. I say, okay, we got 2 or 3 draws higher and a draw lower, right? I then do some digging on the higher time frames, and we can see that there's a 4 hour candle or 4 hour fair value gap prices we're checking off of. Very strong level, right? There's a daily on ES because I'm doing this on both pairs, right? And both pairs are telling me the price is going up, right? So now I just simply wait for a 15-minute or higher to trend in this direction. But again, I'm just making sense of like which way price is going to go, right? My draw's higher, my draw's lower, right? Why would price go to my higher draws? Because of the 4 hour, right? How do I trade into these draws? I wait for a 15-minute gap and a retest into that gap with confirmation entry in the lower time frame, right? Without that, no trade, right? It might just smoke the draws, right? No trade. But that's what I look for, right? If we start shifting and we start moving away from these draws, right? And for example, there's an SMT or something that's showing me that, okay, the market's likely turning around, and then we print the 15 or higher fair value gap in the other direction, and I have a bias to sell into these draws, right? Then I slam it and I short. But again, if we print it up here, my next draw is way down here. Like it's huge, right? It's a big move in relation to how close this draw is, right? So the closer we get to these draws, the higher likelihood we are to hit them, in my experience. You're in longs from daily open. There you go. There you go. How do you set up the indicator? Ian, it's in the first video. I share all my settings and my times as well. I'll show it to you on screen here real quick. But go watch the video. It's in your WAP. I'll link it to you. Hold up. I will link it to you, my brother. Bear with me. Are you guys breakfast eaters or are you fasters in the morning? All right, get your ass in there and give that a watch after session. After session. I'm a faster. I eat midday. Both depends on the day. Right on. Right on. I love that. Sometimes I do eat breakfast. Yeah. I find like the later my dinner, the easier it is to fast, obviously. But like you wake up in the morning, you're just not feeling it, right? Black coffee, water, electrolytes. I commend you guys that can eat breakfast. Personally, eating early in the morning hurts my stomach. Yeah, dude, same. I mean, I like to let it settle. I like to be settled, and I find that I have a bit of a better mental edge, right? When I am fasted, right? If I'm gonna eat, it's likely gonna be a high protein, high fat, low starch, low carb, right? If there's carbs, it's gonna be fruit, right? Natural sugars, but stay away from the starches early. At least I do. It kind of weighs you down and clouds you, takes all the blood out of your brain and takes it to your stomach, right? That's why you get tired after you eat. All the blood's in your digestive system, not in your head. Just full-time trading? Yeah. I don't know. Macy's getting there. You trading full-time for the government soon. Personally, eating in the morning hurts my stomach. Yeah. Lefty, bro, at what point do you take partials? I'm playing around with it. Don't have a set rule for partials yet. Listen, partials are unique to the individual. I don't have a trade example here, but I'll either take a partial when I go break even, because again, in my opinion, break evens are foolish, right? If you're getting a rejection off our level and then the market's coming back, right? Like we should still be paying ourselves a little bit for doing a good job and catching a reaction, right? Off of a good A grade model, right? But yeah, I usually look for partials when I go break even. I look for key highs and lows, right? And then, yeah, and then I'll usually trail my stop once I have runners going. But I look to get majority of my position off as quickly as possible, right? I'm not here trying to make 2, 3, 4, 5 hour trades, right? I mean, trading futures, it's a little bit different than R, I guess. Like we're trading actual cash and monetary contracts, but monetary value off contracts. But yeah, partials are one of those things where it's, for me, it's, listen, like I take a trade, I catch 40 points on 5 contracts. I mean, that's, $400, $300, something like that. Across 5 accounts, I mean, that's $1,500, right? Leave a runner, boom. CFDs is a little different, man. I find CFDs is more percent, right? Because the lots have decimal points. When you're trading contracts, like you get kind of stuck, right? So, and plus, futures prop firms are more monetary than R, I guess. I mean, you get a 6%, you got to make 6%, you get a 4% drawdown. Like it's, I've been enjoying the monetary more than the percent these days. Macy, current situation. There you go. Right on, bro. I like the long buys. Yeah, CFDs are different, bro. But you know what? Like for you, what you need to, oh shit, error code. Hold up. If with taking partials on CFDs, brother, this is what I'm gonna tell you. You just gotta kind of figure out like if it's half the position, if it's 90%, like you got a lot more to work with in terms of flexibility. Right. And yeah, like Macy's position, I mean, this is just a perfect example of what I was talking about, right? Price is in this region, right? And look at these higher draws, like they're just sucking price to the upside. They're right here, right? And that's why trading into draws, in my opinion, is way more powerful than trading after draws, right? Like we sweep a draw and then you look for reversal, very dicey, right? Very, very dicey. Right? Especially at all-time highs, because like when is the market going to turn around, right? Who knows? Versus the reliability of trading into it, right? Just find a pattern that works for you trading into these draws and you're good to go. Right. Let's see here. Yeah, I was going to take partials to 1.5R, but I got 1.45 and then taken out of BE. Yeah, okay. So here's my thing. I think that static, like, BE at 1-to-1, TP at 1-to-2, I think it's all foolish. I think it's unprofessional. And I think it's very beginner. I think it's great to get like a foundation, but you need to be looking at where to get out of the market more so than just a 2R, because 2R could be totally stupid. You know what I mean? But 1.75R makes so much sense, right? So again, focus on structure points, focus on how the market's moving, right? Consider trailing stops, right? That's another option. I personally only trail stops on runners, right? But again, I look for that early exit out of the market. I pay myself if price comes back to break even, but that's the number one focus. Pay myself, get risk off the table. Anything else is bonus, bro. I do that, 3 to 5 days out of the week successfully, and I mean, you're chilling. But no stress, brother. No stress. Partials, again, the most complicated aspect, at least for my trading, is entering the market and exiting the market, right? It takes a good amount of time to find something that works good for you. But again, the more time and effort you put into watching price and studying, right, the better you're going to get at managing. Like, you're in a trade, right? Watch what's happening, man. Like, we're watching everything, right? We're paying attention to first percentage, right? We got this new first presented, right? Like, we're making it make sense, right? We're trading within our trade, right? Like, we're in a position, but we're reading price as it prints, right? What is Notion, Ian? Sorry, I missed that a little bit earlier, but Notion it's like an Excel, right? It's an application, it's a web app or a website, but basically you can go on and you can build all kinds of things, right? Like, there's charts, there's diagrams, like you can build a full trading journal, there's metrics, there's coding, there's all kinds of stuff. It's like a user-friendly Excel. That's probably the best way I can describe it. Like, way user-friendly. Excel is not at all user-friendly, in my opinion. So she'll eat your soul. Yeah, exactly. So if you're looking for an entry level, like, or an intro or a beginner trade journal, Ian, I can help you get set up on that. But basically, you just need to. Sorry, guys, one sec here. You simply got to download Notion, and then you can look at their templates. Right? And I'm sure there's some good YouTube videos out there. Okay, guys, markets are starting to materialize here. We're starting to get some volume. We're starting to expand. Right? We cleared this news high. Right? Now we still have 3 draws higher, so I'm still interested in this market. Right? In 7 minutes, 35 seconds, we're going to be printing this 15 potentially, and that's where I'll look to trade continuation longs up into these higher DOLs. Right? I use 2 assets, the S&P and the NASDAQ, right? So again, I'm marking everything up on both assets, but we're about to get that 30-minute print on ES as well to continue higher, right? And we can see, if we look at the draws on liquidity, we can see that ES, the draws are a little bit more spread out. Price action looks a little bit different, right? So that's why I'm going to be very cautious, right, with these take profits, right? I want to be aggressive off, because if we could drop an SMT and sell off, right? And if I'm trading ES, right, this is more of an example if you're trading the weaker asset, right? But if I'm buying ES here, right, and I haven't run these higher draws, and I'm thinking they look so good, right? But then NQ goes and cooks all the draws, the SMT oftentimes will turn ES around, or ES won't actually meet these draws, right, before a bit of a pullback. So it's just understanding what's going on both pairs, right, or both assets. Macy, wisdom. What does he got? For those who struggle with holding on lower time frames, I entered in the 3-minute, but my chart is now in the 30-minute. Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing, right? Like, if you're all nervous and shit in your trade, like, you just need to take more trades, or you need to de-risk, right? And if that's your style, like Macy's style is take his entry and sit back and chill, that's all good, right? Some people, like myself, for example, we're a little more active. Like, I don't get emotion, right? A lot of times, like, I don't feel nothing, right? I see the reaction, okay, beautiful. I'm so focused on what price is doing, right, and how the candles are closing, and what type of fair value gaps we're interacting with, and structure, and all of that, right, that I'm more suited for the lower time frame management and dialing it in. Some people might just zoom out, and that works for them, man, right? So again, trial and error. Shisha, come on. Exactly, bro. Like, Macy, and bro, like, there's plenty of people that trade like that out there from home full time, make a lot more money than I'm making, you know what I mean, and do it successfully, right? There's no right or wrong way. It just depends on, like, what suits you, right? What suits you. I have, ADHD, call it, but it's a superpower, man, because I can, I get really granular, and I can obsess over things, and I can make sense of everything, in my head. That's what works for me, right? I get more anxious if I'm sitting here on the 15, like, what's price doing, right? But we're looking higher, boys. We're looking higher. We are looking higher. You gotta love the days we get 1 hour levels. Oh boy, 1 hour levels are beautiful. right? So just so you guys understand this, let's say this was our level, right? 5-minute level. I don't personally trade 5-minute levels. They confuse me. And there's too many of them in the market, right? For my liking, right? But if you were going to trade this, right? Last 5-minute leg, first presented, right? You'd be looking for an inverse off the pullback, right? So price pulls back, we look for the inverse, retest, and go, right? I find that the 5-minute works best with 30-second flips, right? And this is spicy. And just know that like lower down on the lower time frames, we do have some unmitigated levels, right? First presented 1 minute here, right? So if we're looking at a turnaround in the market, right, we might be primed for a bigger pullback if we start flipping levels in through here, right? Because I'm looking at this price leg. Where's the first gap, right? First gap to print up, 1 minute, right? It's up here. It's not down here. Sometimes it's up here, right? 2 minute, we're already flipping it up here, right? 3 minute up here, about to flip. 5 minute, about to flip. So in the next couple minutes, this has to reject heavily to avoid flipping the lower time frames lower or bearish, right? Or it nukes and it flips, it retests, and then we continue to sell off potentially, right? But again, we haven't taken these draws, right? We want to trade into the draws. Right? And these first presented levels are very key to mark out. 2 minutes about to flip, 1 minute's about to flip. We get some news. 8:56. United Arab UAE, whatever that stands for. Our air defense systems are currently responding to a missile threat. There we go. So again, missile threat. News is melting the market, right? We haven't taken draws, right? Damn, I'm in. They literally play it. They literally plan it. Yeah, bro, for sure. They plan it out, but look, like we're positioned, right? We're positioned. We can expect it, right? Ricky, are you longing or did you take a sell? Shorts. Yeah, we'll see, dude. If the news pauses, likely to cycle higher. If they continue with the news, likely to push lower. Right? That's kind of the position I'm seeing where we're at right now. Dude, this window is freezing. Right, but again, look at this last news candle. What happened, right? We're selling. We're not selling. We're selling. We're not selling. We're selling. No, we're not. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens. So now, again, the higher up we get, the higher probability this is going to start to take liquidity, right? It's just a matter if it wants to go before the draw or not, right? Or it holds and it continues to build. But we've yet to see, at least on the 5 minute, any type of pullback low get violated, right? Like we reject, right? So a CISD, change in the state, would be good to see right here, right? But price hasn't even wicked below it yet, right? And that would give us another level of confirmation, right? But we are inversing gaps, and we got the hourly open. 9 o'clock candle just opened up. Sorry, 11 o'clock Eastern. So now it's going to get interesting. Could get real heavy. Could get real heavy. Flush this. Potentially react higher. Right? Do we have any levels, boys? Do we have any levels? 15-minute NQ, nothing. ES. Okay. No 30-minute. Yeah, I'm bullish, boys. I'm bullish. $30 went inverse. I don't want to be trading ES right now. I really don't. But this shit's getting herky-jerky. I don't want to be trading ES. ES has the level. I want to make sure I'm not missing nothing. Right, so again, there's our hour, right? Candle opens up lower, prints are low, right? Expands higher. Now we're going to print the top half of the candle. That's what we're looking for bulls, right? For bears, we want to see this continue lower, right? We don't want to see a bottom wick and then a top wick, right? We want to see top wick then bottom wick, right? And this immediately opened up lower. Yeah, bro, de-risk, set your daily loss limits, and stay off the 1 minute, right? Until we have a good level, you're trading low probability trades, right? You're taking lower probability positions, right? If we're not trading off key higher time frame levels, right? This 15-minute on ES is basically all we got, right? So on NQ, we could look for V-shape, right? Only problem is V-shape is up here, right? V-shape IFEG, and the RR on this is absolutely chalked to all-time highs, not even 0.5%, right? So if anything, it'd be good if we see this pull back a little bit lower, but there's nothing in here right now that I can see. Maybe a 30-second, even 30-second inversion is up here, right? So it's either this level holds and we melt, or this level flips and we take draw. But all we're working off of is this 15-minute ES level. So we'll see. Ian, brother, attaboy. Keep the de-risk, brother. Keep the de-risk. London low? Where's London low? Here? Okay. Ricky, are you shooting for another 10 to 1 or what? Steep. I guess it depends if you're covering the all-time high or not. I wouldn't bother covering all-time high. I would just run it as tight as you can. Macy, 250 loss, not a big deal. When I originally risked 650. Yeah, good management. Good management. Right? Sometimes that's the price we pay when we trade chop. Ian, so if NQ has levels and ES doesn't, should we focus on NQ then? So listen, it's a little bit more advanced, and I don't want to get too into it right now, right? But this is how I play it. So if ES, I want to be buying regardless. I want to be buying the stronger asset, right? When I look to the right, I can see NQ is up, 0.2% on the day. ES is right around break even, right? So ideally, I'm buying NQ, right? NQ is stronger. It has increased more on the day than its counterpart, right? Or its big brother, right? So immediately I want to buy NQ. I do not want to buy ES, right? Now, if ES has the level, you can use this as a PD array SMT or a fair value gap SMT, right? However you want to call it. But if, for example, if ES is tapping into this level, right, and I'm expecting higher prices, I could, in theory, use the Nasdaq, right, as my entry. I could trade ES too, but it's weaker, right? And if it's weaker, it's likely to pull back deeper, right? If it's stronger, it's likely to pump harder and quicker, right? And that's the concepts of trading the stronger asset. If you're buying, selling the weaker asset if you're selling, trading the weaker asset if you're selling, right? But yeah, you can, just like an SMT on the high, you can use these levels too, right? You can use these levels. There was a good example of this. Where were we? It was a 1 hour. It was a 1 hour first presented. I think it was right here, right? Look at this. 1 hour first presented on ES, right? Expecting higher prices. We see the reaction. We see the market close up, right? NQ would have been the play to take it though. I think yes. It was a little confusing because NQ structure at this point looked terrible back then. Anyways, let's get back to it. Now, no, we have a 5-minute gap. Yeah, I don't use 5-minute gaps unless it's just to avoid trading into, right? If I'm longing this, I'm going to be very dicey. I'm going to be very careful around these 5-minute levels trading into them, right? I never trade off a 5-minute level. I'll never trade off of it. It's just not my style. It doesn't work for me. I'll just wait for a 15. 5-minute prints far too often for me to trade the 5-minute, right? But yes, if we're looking at this, bro, we got 5-minute first presented, right? 5-minute first presented. We got this 15 on ES. I'm not even on the right asset. There we go. Right, so we flipped, right? Now we got a BPR, 5-minute BPR. So if I'm longing here, I'm going to be very, very, very careful when price gets up into this level, right? Because, right, this pullback leg, but I'm not longing here because there's no level, right? I'm not longing off of anything. I'm just blind trading, right? So this is going to be interesting now, right? We got the change in the state, right? Change in the state of delivery, guys. It's similar to like a market shift, except I'm going to say it's a little bit less confirmed because I think with market shifts, we usually look for closure below body or closure below wick, right? CISD, change in the state, is simply price violating the open of this bull run, right? So they take the last buy candles in this example, the low of the body, when price violates that, change in the state, right? So now if we were shorting, we would look for price to pull back up, give us confirmation, and continue lower, right? But personally, I'm not looking for shorts right now because we never took the draws. So if this is going to short, it's simply engineering liquidity, right? And not to say it won't. My EU trade is just consolidation for 2 hours. What did you take, Georgie? What did you take? I had some levels marked out here. Was it a 1 hour? I thought it was a 1 hour. Maybe not. It was a 15. It was a 30. Yeah, exactly, right? So like for a guy like Ricky, for example, he might use those stack liquidities as a confluence, right? As like price is holding that zone, right? So it depends on how you see price, right? Yeah, there you go. And plus, if you have the lower liquidity, right? It's just a matter of how do you time the market, right? Right? Because just as there's stacked liquidity here, bro, there's stacked liquidity here too, right? So it's like, how do we decipher which pool we're gonna draw into first, right? Right? Low resistance, trend line. Yeah, exactly. Let's hope so. But it's cool. We got some different positions running in the stream today, right? Couple buys, couple shorts. EU George, are you long or are you short? You short off this? I feel like you're short. Long, okay. I like the long. I do like the long. I do like the long. Still a little bit of an edgy area, right? Like, look at this. On the 1 hour, we got this 1 hour bearish gap. Hasn't flipped yet, trading right into it, right? So if we're just studying like immediate PA outside of what's to the left, right? A lot of times that could just give us the clarity we need, right? Look at this. We got this first presented 15 on the way down, right? Pulled back, prints, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's got a 30-minute bullish, right? So the price is kind of pinned right here, and you can see that it's just sawing, right? But the momentum higher looked good, right? Back here. Looked really good. Right? If you're able to trade into this high and partial off at the top or at the front edge, that could be an option too. But it's a little bit more like an internal to internal play, right? Because if we look at this, right? This is where we're taking our entry, right? Off this 30-minute, right? Like we're inside, we're still trading inside to inside, right? Like this is inside to inside, right? Unless you're looking to partial off at this high, then it'd be an internal to external play, right? Versus the sell would be a little bit more external to or internal to external, right? Print down, internal to external, right? So just as an example, right? Why this could be a little bit edgy and why you might take some break evens or maybe an unnecessary loss, or maybe just simply you're on the right side of the market, because that can happen too, right? Not to say it's good or bad. Sometimes you're just simply on the right side of the market. It just decides to chop before it fulfills its expectation. But what's the expectation, right? We're looking at external draws. We're looking at previous session highs. Like where's the draw, right? Right now it's just fair value gaps and our drawing price, right? Tap back in, right? And then this is drawing price up, right? We react into this liquidity. We're gonna have to see what's next, right? Next high for partials could be 17,236 area. How are we looking over on NQ? So again, right, we got the change in the state. Let's just look at the 5-minute because it's clear, right? We got the change in the state, violating this low. The market reacts, and now it's starting to cycle lower, right? Or it looks like it's going to, right? And what happened? Right, we got the change in the state. The market pulls back. It's the same concept, internal to external, right? It pulls back inside. 1 minute first presented leg, right? If you're seeing this as a bearish leg now, pulls back and continues to the external, right? Just the concept being shown. I'd be looking for buys too on EU. I have to wait for the 15-minute turn bullish on someone. Yeah, there you go. There you go. But it's looking like we're potentially coming down for some of this lower internal. ES flipped our 15. Not quite. 2 minutes. No S&T. Four-hour demand. This is a pretty spicy 4-hour candle. Right, we did miss the 4-hour order block. Right. $11 was there? Is this Trump? Anything at 11? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, we'll see how low it wants to go. It's already 11:15, boys. Session's flying. All right, we're chilling, and the session's flying. Right? Yeah, these lows, right? Because let's see how price reacts to this 1 hour inversion. Right? So this caused the pullback. We flipped it, inversed it, and now we're reacting. Right? So this is a potential to hold price up too. But again, how low are we going to dig? Right? Like we got a ton of low resting liquidity here. Right? Just be mindful. Like this could be a potential good area for profit. We do have a BPR, right? 15-minute BPR. Right, overlapping bearish and bullish fair value gaps. Right, we got this bearish fair value gap here, and we got the bullish gap here. Right, we take the overlap, and boom, BPR, strong level. Right, we can see that respect. Right, so if this level goes, then we'll likely start chewing lower into this zone here. But just keep an eye on this BPR if you're holding throughout the afternoon or into PM. Ladies and gentlemen, we have began our descent lower. We are going to be approaching the 15-minute BPR in approximately 45 minutes. Captain Ricky is in full control of the plane. He's going to be landing us beautifully on the BPR tar strip for a excellent partial zone, right? Mint. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Captain speaking. We got no room for degenerates on this plane, and we're a little overweight, so again, this is your captain speaking. You're likely going to get kicked out the back door if you fuck around, and you're going to find out. 10-4. You know what? It's good to see people trading reversals, honestly, because I don't ever see it anymore. So it's cool to watch. It's cool to see. Yeah. Ian's shorts look nice, but I'm not 100% yet. Yeah, me neither, brother. That's okay. Again, if you're ever like not 100% sure, bro, just wait for a 15-minute gap. Plain and simple. If you are ever confused at where the market's going, high draw or low draw, wait for a 15-minute fair value gap and trade the continuation off of it. Plain and simple, right? Plain and simple. Woo! Come on, baby. ES failed to flip. 30-minute bearish. ES failed to flip 1 hour bearish. Right? So if I'm selling, I'm more keen to sell off of ES than I am to sell off of NQ at this point because it's heavier. PA looks pretty similar. They're not super far out. They're only 1/10% out, so it should be fairly similar PA. But if you get days where there's like 0.5% out, I mean, you can see the big difference. Gentlemen, I am off. Made a little money today out of you. It's all good. We come back tomorrow. Gonna move on and do my recap video. God bless you all. Hasta mañana. Ciao, bro. Have a good one. Hasta mañana. Hasta mañana. And yeah, feel free to share the review if you want, brother. I'd love to see it. But be well. George, how are we looking on EU, brother? Are we still holding? At 1 hour, there's that 15 minutes still holding. Yeah, so again, what we talked about on EU a little bit earlier, hopefully this makes a little bit of sense as to why, you know, it could have went either way. But again, these first presented levels are what we need to be focusing on. Look at the accuracy on this, right? If we take this price leg, if we're on the 15-minute, right? I'm looking at the most immediate price leg, right? This is immediate PA, but back here, right? When this bearish leg printed, because we are operating within this leg, right? This first gap that presented itself is the highest probable gap to hold price down, right? It's the highest priced, it's the best priced level to sell, right? Premium, highest up in premium, and it's the first gap, right? Market comes up, mitigates the first gap, tries to push lower, lows hold, right? We start printing bullish fair value gaps to tap into this level, and then what happens, right? We get an immediate shift, and now we start to cycle lower. right? Now, with that being said, until this level flips, because this was the first presented, I guess it's a 30-minute, first presented 30-minute on the pullback up, less likely to hold, right? Because we're bearish. Sorry, it's kind of a little bit confusing, but just reading price for what it's at, right? We come back up into the 50% of the first presented 15-minute. We react, we flip a 15-minute, right? Took it here, yeah. That's okay. I'm sure the entry and everything looked good, right? Up in this region. It's just being a little bit more aware of as to like what we're trading into, right? If we had cleared this high, right? If we had cleared this high, right? Because this is technically still our lag, technically, right? So, you know, a little bit of a tougher condition to trade into, but that's okay, man. With time and with more reps, like we'll be noticing this more often. Macy, what's happening here? TP1 smashed. There we go. There's the hold. 15-minute entry. Let's go. Yeah, we're definitely expanding lower. Right, so now it's like where are the draws, right? Let me just get rid of this. Hold up. Whoa. There we go. Right, so where are the draws? Right, immediate draw, we have 615, London, 615 low. This PM low is looking tasty on ES. It's PM low. Come on and drop. Hey, beggars can't be choosers, buddy. Let her be. Let her be. It'd be great if we flush. That'd be absolutely great for sure. But we've now cleared all liquidity, right? We've cleared all this low resting, right? Hence the momentum, right? So now it's just a matter of, again, first presented, right? 5-minute bullish leg, 5-minute first presented. Pay attention how price reacts to this. Basically, our last internal pool of liquidity before we take external lows. All right, 1 minute first presented. I'm just going to mark it out just for fun because sometimes the accuracy is just unbelievable. Right. For now, boys, I am flat. I am chilling, waiting for clarity. You guys that are in shorts, well done. Pay attention to these levels here. It'd be great if we just steam them. It would be great. If you're not in a trade, no stress, no FOMO, all is well. Okay, 5-minute failed to close, but we got steam. We got lots of steam lower. Right? So we're either coming back off of these DOLs, but given how the market cycled lower, right now, okay, so we got red folder news at 9:19, so 11:19. Again, news is pushing the market lower. Iran attacked the UAE, apparently. Now there's a big fire erupted in a petroleum industrial site, causing this melt off, this sell off. Right, so we're news trading at this point, boys. We're news trading. Well, bearish news. Monday is looking a little emotional. Right on. Shawnee boy, how we doing? Happy Monday. So again, this was Trump this morning, right? Or this no, sorry, this wasn't Trump. This was fake news, right? This was fake news on Iran, two missiles hitting a US ship, right? It got deemed fake. Market immediately rebalanced and cycled back up into whatever it was doing, right? Now the UAE is saying there's missiles going off, and now one of their petroleum sites is hit from Iran, apparently, right, causing the sell-off, right into our first presented area. How convenient, eh? So we'll see what happens here, right? But this 15-minute BPR is starting to show a little respect off these lower level reactions. Right on, Macy. Let's go. Yeah, green for the day. Lock it out. Lock it out. We're back tomorrow, right? These conditions are fucking doo doo. It's tough right now, man. There's a lot of random red folder coming out. Right, a lot of unpredictable influences in the market right now. Considering the algorithm is very corrective, the market isn't moving. Right, we get these tweets, right? These war tweets, and you can just see how sensitive they are, right? But all this volume is war tweet, right? And this is what's good about red folder news, guys and girls, right? Red folder news typically changes the conditions of the market from this to this, right? And it's not news, it's algorithm. It's pure algorithm. 51, buddy, one trade to go, one or two more. Let's go. What's the plan after Bull Knox, bro? I don't know if I'm saying it right. Yeah, Macy's one and done. 2 accounts, 2 trades, one trade each account. Sean, what do you do for your market prep? Like, is that just for your swing trading and whatnot, or? Curious. Monday prep. Guy sounds like he's working at a fucking hedge fund. The deep dive, the deep fundamental. He dips. Yo, bro, what's your prep? Dips. Oh shit, he's back. Oh shit, he's back. Shawnee boy, what's the Monday prep? Run me through it. Swing trade prep. 2.3 on the evaluation, and then what are we doing? Then do we stack 2 Apex, 1 Bullnox, and build buffer, or what's the play, Mace? Ian, how you doing over there? Haven't heard from you in a minute, dude. You doing all right? You short? Okay, right on. So again, guys, you know how I showed you these 1 and the 5 minute? Look at the 3 minute first presented, beautiful. Right, so we're getting that initial reaction. Now we want to see it, right? We want to see it flip this and go if we're going to short, right? I'll just keep these levels on for reference. All right, this is that 3 minute first presented region. Right on. Yeah, just make sure you're on top of your expiration or your inactivity days. I'm pretty sure Apex is 30 days, but just make sure with Bullnox too, right? Because if you leave an eval for 7 days or 5 market cycle or 5 days in the market plus a weekend, a lot of firms are 7 days, or there's a couple at least. It's crazy. Yeah, just make sure you look into it. And then Lucid, bro. Lucid. Yes, Lucid. For anybody new to trading futures or struggling to take consistent payouts or looking to transition to futures, Lucid is likely going to be your best option. I know there's a couple other firms that have some friendlier friendlier options for traders that are newer. But again, the lucid flex is great because you don't need to build a buffer. Like you pass your eval, you're legitimately trading funded, right? And payout rules are very simple, very easy, very attainable. Not easy, but they're attainable. Market's pushing. Come on, baby. Clear lows. All right, here's the next interaction. Starting the cycle. But no FOMO, boys. No FOMO. All right, we're chilling. Stopped out, Ian. Were you holding a runner from down here? Must have been. No. No, the runner. Wait. Yeah, not Ian, were you in low here? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Gotta clear this low. Got to clear this low. Right. Yeah. I don't mind buying all-time highs if the market's moving, but like we never had any type of buy signal today, in my opinion. There's no clear higher time frame level. Like there's scalp opportunities, but from a mid or higher time frame perspective, there was no cause for higher, right? We were cycling towards draws, but lower time frame said yes, higher time frame said and then we didn't clear, right? So we continue to stack, right? AM high, right? Fresh AM high. We'll see what happens, right? But look at this, it's starting to get tight, and this could still hold, right? This could still hold. We will see. New days filled. Yeah, this 4-hour OB area would be a strong zone. We'll see, man. We will see. Yeah, we do. We need another short tweet. We need another short tweet for sure. Some negative news to fucking launch us there. Let's stop wasting time. That'd be great to see for you guys. Price for the short was the stack liquidity, just that. So when I saw that and New York did not sweep any liquidity and started showing M1 signs, shot the bullet. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Shot the bullet, man. Shot the bullet. Shot the bullet. Caught the news. Right. And call it a coincidence. Call it whatever, bro. You're green. It's all good. Why did I not want these shorts? Market was reaching higher, bro. Right. And we're not trading off anything keen, like any key levels at least for my approach, right? Like I was long. I was looking for these draws, man. Right. Market reached these highs and then bearish news came out and sold the market. Right. So now it's like, well, if the bearish news didn't happen, would it have continued higher? Would it have sold off? Who knows, right? But yeah, I wanted higher, right? Now we start shifting lower and we start gapping, right? And the market gives me what I want. Where's the next lower draw, right? We got this sell side low, but more importantly, New York AM low, previous New York AM low. And for me to short into this AM low up here is absolutely foolish. Like that looks beyond ridiculous. Look at this. Like, why would I target this low when I can target these highs when price is right here, right? That's my thinking, right? Not to say that it has to happen, right? And that's just my model, right? That's just how I see it, right? But yeah, that's what I was seeing. I'm not looking for shorts up here. No, I'm not looking for shorts anywhere near all-time highs, right? Until we start to shift, right? And regardless if we took liquidity or not, the market is now shifting, right? We got a good expansion lower, news or not, who gives a shit? The market moved lower, right, with speed. Now, what do I look for? I look for disrespect of this leg and respect of this leg, right? And simply like a fair value gap to trade lower. Now, the only thing is, given where we're at right now, if we printed, let's say we print a 15-minute right here, we cycle back into it, I'm not looking to short this. The draws are too far away. It's Monday. It's been nothing but chop except for these news releases. So it's just not a condition that I want to participate in. Hopefully that makes sense. But I hope it continues to sell off for the boys in the shorts. For sure. For sure. Right? And we're kind of just stalling in and around this area, right? We're not getting that bullish rejection, right? The market is priming itself, right? It's building liquidity. Likely going to be another news announcement, right? Trump's going to get on here and it's going to fly. Just a thought. Yeah, and again, like we could sit here and say I'm right, you're wrong, or my bias this, or it was nice, or it wasn't. But again, like just study what you traded, right? And if it fits your model, beautiful. And if you don't know what your model is, you figure it out. You got to figure that out, right? But if you know exactly what your model is, right? Like I can tell you exactly what my model is in one sentence, right? 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour continuations towards the obvious draw in liquidity, right? Very obvious until it wasn't, right? That's my model. So if you can tell me your model and this fits your model, right? Beautiful. Right? And it's not about being right or wrong. It's about executing your model and making money consistently, right? And being well doing so. Yeah, dude. And adaptability is huge too, right? Like at what point do we say, fuck, we're not going for these higher draws anymore. We're going for these lower draws, right? When we start to see fair value gaps get disrespected, right? This first presented flips, let's get rid of these lower time frames because we don't need them anymore, right? If this 15-minute first presented on the pullback leg up, right? This bullish leg, if this flips, inverses, right? We look for price to come back up into this region, either into the inversion or into a fair value gap, right? So at this point, if it flips, we have a 15-minute IFPG. This is what I would look for, right? We have flipped the last level in this leg. I look for price to come back up into this region, confirmation entry, trade to the lows, right? And that's how I look for shifts in market structure, because any little prick ass 1 minute can hold this up because we're bullish, right? Well, kind of. We're not very clearly bullish. I mean, we're definitely bullish. Like look at this PA. We're bullish. But yeah, so that's just things that I would watch out for, right? And like I said, like this, every now and then you get these little 1 minutes, right? And you can see the market interact with it. And the likelihood is very low if we're coming off higher time frame levels. But just look at this, man. Like beautiful respect, right? And we usually get a reaction, right? Now, who's to say if this holds or not? Who knows, right? But this flips, this 1 minute flips, and this 15-minute flips. It's more so the 15 that I'm curious about. That matters to me. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. Right? We'll see. Anybody got the Baron on speed dial? Anybody got Trump on Telegram or cell phone number? Imagine having Trump's cell phone number. I'd like to golf with Trump. I think that'd be a blast. He's a damn good golfer, man. Guy's a damn good golfer. Yeah, we got Red Fuller tomorrow, right? I think I shared it in the group. Hold up. Out of 3R, dude, respect, man. Mad respect. That's beauty trade. You know what? Like, not if you left a runner, that's cool, but I do respect you taking some profits for sure. Yeah. Lesson learned, bro. Good adjustment. That's what it's all about, brother. Yeah. Good job. Good reaction. Good reaction to that lesson, brother. That's what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about, boys. This is what we want to see, right? Ricky let 3R come back on him on Friday, not today, right? Because again, what's more important, hitting full TP or getting fucking paid, right? Getting paid. Yeah, man. Another day, another dub. Let's go. Yeah, man. Eagle wants the full TP for sure. Yeah, honestly, like that's why I mean my entries are all so small time framed anyways, right? But like an entry on this level, for example, right? There you go. Right? Break even point, I'm break even right here. I'm break even and I'm off a good chunk right here. Right? Everything else, like this line doesn't matter because now it's like, okay, well, if price does hit my full TP, oh my gosh, I could make $3,000. Like, no, man, like I'm making you know $700-800 right here, and then I'm gonna make another 1,000 here if it goes right. But this $700-800 is more important than this 3,000, right? Yeah, we just failed to take that high, Macy. That's what I'm saying. Just it looked like it was going to, but it was so corrective, right? The market, you'll start to see the more you watch price action, especially indices, right? Futures indices. The market is often priced in before shit even happens, right? And you see it time and time again. Yeah. These last first presented gaps typically give decent reactions, boys. 50 points to break even, and then like about 190, 200 to external draw. I'm not taking this, but this is a decent opportunity, right? At least up into this 15-minute, right? If we remove this, we'd be looking to trade it up into this 15, right? A bit of a scalp, but a little risky. But it looks clean, good V shape, really good V shape, right? Doing our entry drill, guys, right? This price lag, nothing, right? There's a 2-minute, but it's different price lag. Mark it out just for fun. Right, well, I'm going to change the state. Then we would look for this to cycle higher. We live to trade another day, brother. That's what it's all about. Yeah, man, I agree, man. Like it's nice to kind of ease into Mondays sometimes, right? Oh yeah, trading floor, buddy. This is the digital trading floor, right? If you think about it, before the age of the retail trader, bro, you go work on a floor. You're in an office packed full of people trading, trying to make money. It's loud. Everybody's doing different things, but most people are watching the guys who are making money, right? I like watching reading those market wizard books. Anyways, I'm gonna clear this off, but this is a decent little zone here, right? 2 minutes looking like it's holding price down a little bit, but not really worried about that because this is the price leg I'm focused on here, right? The manipulation leg, a little more granular on the 1 minute in relation to the 2 minute. Bank 3.5K, dude. Let's go. That's huge. Drop it in the profits and loss, and we move on. My trade rate's nipping out hard. Okay, we got a 30-second BPR. Kinda right here. Kind of somewhere like right in through here. That's kind of our last level for reversals off this zone. Where else can you do that in the morning and have the rest of the day? Yeah. Yeah, trading is the hardest way to make easy money. George, brother, get some fresh air, get some hydration, get some food in you, man. Have a good work day if you're going to the warehouse tonight. All right. We'll catch you later, man. We'll catch you later. Cheers, brother. Right, the market is in tandem right now. Very nice. So no SMT at the low here, right? So validity is a little bit lower, right? If we had an SMT, it'd be a little bit better. No SMT. There was an SMT here. Right, so we'll see if this 30-second PPR can hold up, right? We just wicked into it. It's actually right around there. Yeah, Sergi boy, same here, man. We're flat on the day. No stress, no pressure. Life is beautiful, right? PA was a tough one today. It was a bit of a tougher day. See you tomorrow, fellas. Good to go enjoy the kids. Ciao, buddy. Ciao, man. Be well. Yeah, bro. Serge in that mod status, bro. Right? Totally cool. Listen, Sean, go sell a premier and then I'll give you a fucking mod. How does that sound, buddy? I'll give you 15% of the premier and I'll give you mod. Just don't, no gay gifts. No gay gifts in and around this area. Don't make me boot you. Shit, man. Sean, bro. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. 1940s Germany. Of course, man. I think Serge is, well, I'm Dutch, so derivative of German. And Serge is, what, Portuguese? So, like, you know, corrupt in his own nature. So, yeah, dude, we make an aggressive team, for sure. Okay, so we got the 15-minute. Did we get a tap in on anything? I don't think so. Does ES got a first presented too? I love these first presented levels. They're so fascinating to watch. So fascinating, man. Look at oh, SMT. 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 What if I told you boys this market's gonna rip? 30-second inversion right off the bottom here. SMT 30-second inversion. Buy it. Buy it. I am not buying it. But 30-second inversion right here. Thirty-second inversion, boys, right here. Right, and look at that SMT, bros. Look at that SMT. Boom. Let's see what happens. Just tape reading right now, guys, but decent buy signal off this 1 minute first presented on both assets, right? NQ tapped in a little bit earlier, right, at 11:40 Eastern. ES taps in at 11:52. Get the ESMT. They're now tapped into this high level. They both now tapped into this high quality level. 1 minute first presented, but it's not out of 15-minute zone. Yeah, no, not my type of trade, but a great little eval scalp, dude. Great little eval scalp. I would have slammed this on eval for sure. These first presented levels are spicy, and given the fact that, dude, this whole sell-off was news pumped, like this isn't algorithmic selling. This is fear in the market, right? So as long as there's no more fear being induced to the market, we should retrace. We should get that retrace back up at least into the 15 to then cycle lower potentially, right? Or we just violate and, you know, the market, because again, the market's been flipping shit all day long, right? There's no true clarity, but I still think these higher draws are a bigger pull than this lower draw. Right? Right, so TP1 on something like this, 60 points, boom, right at the edge, easy money. Again, I'd rather wait for a 15 myself, right? I'm a little more keen to actually short off this level, but the problem with that is like the level can look good, right? But it needs to look good in the direction of a draw that also looks good, right? Friday just exploded to the upside, went flat, right? And then we started trickling for all time, and then news, right? We start going back up, and then news, right? So I got a tough time selling this market. Selling at all-time highs, period, is dicey, man. It's dicey. It's very difficult to do consistently, in my experience. All right, best to just wait for buys. And by at all-time highs, what I mean is like, you know, there's no bullish draws under all-time high, right? Like we're basically targeting all-time highs, right? So like if price moves down into this region, oops, if price moves down into this region and we start getting new, fresh, higher draws on liquidity that are away from all-time highs, then we're not trading into all-time highs, we're trading into these draws, right? So selling the market makes more sense, right? But when all-time high is our next DOL to the upside, oftentimes price is going to target all-time high before this, right? Go back and check it out if you don't believe me, right? And I mean, all this bullish PA will tell you that time and time and time again. Look at all these lows that don't ever get taken, right? Until we get something like we had in January. And what happened in January? We had a liquidation sell-off on the weekly time frame here. We took all these lows that were just stacked up, and now we're restocking them, right? And that just shows the power of buying into our draws on liquidity versus selling, because look at how many times the market has not sold into draws on liquidity. Unreliable, right? How many higher draws? None. Think about it.